Welcome to UWS Weekly, a show that is dedicated to covering United Women's Soccer, a national pro-am league with your host, Jonathan Ward. Each and every week, we will highlight players, supporters, and staff of the clubs we all pride ourselves to support in North America. The UWS is a league that is committed to advancing women's soccer. Good evening, soccer fans, and welcome to the UWS studios and to UWS Weekly, a show powered by Rain, Total Body Fuel, and dedicated to the best women's pro-am league in the world. Well, we are in week 3 into the summer of soccer for the UWS and UWS2, and through 30 games in the league, we've seen 131 goals to date, with many matches that were close and a handful that were absolutely not close at all. But as the league goes on, everybody improves over the course of the summer of soccer. So let's hope that the scoring stays up and that we get games that are closer, maybe more 6-5, 4-3, or even 4-2. So let's review a few of the highlights from this past weekend. We have 2 matches that I want to bring to light. The first, Brooklyn City and Worcester Smiles. Brooklyn City claimed its first UWS win in style, easing past Worcester Smiles by the score of 5-0. Both clubs were held off the score sheet until just before the break, when Megan Barwick scored a breakaway to send her club into half with a 1-0 lead. From there, the floodgates opened and the Brooklyn team just kept going. Megan Brock scored the first of 3 second-half goals in the 50th minute with a fantastic volley, and Kelsey Simpson's shot from range rounded out the 5. In the other match, our guests tonight, in what was a rematch of the season opening game for both of these clubs, Chicago Kics and Lady Steel, brought another tightly contested affair with the Chicago Kics, or Kics of Chicago, eventually avenging their first week defeat to Lady Steel City FC in the opener after a thrilling second half. Kics went ahead early with Cassandra Rohan found the back of the net. The real thrill came toward the midway point of the second half, though. Steel City equalized in the 65th minute, and then Kics went back ahead in the 67th, only for Steel City to level things up in the 69th minute with a goal by Marissa Anderson. The stalemate lasted until there were about 10 minutes remaining in the game when Zanaya Barnes scored the winner for the Kics. Tonight, I'm joined by owner Matt Miller, head coach Diego Garcia, and midfielder Ena Sabanagic. Oh, man, see, I told you guys I was gonna have this problem. Sabanagic of Kics Chicago, who this past weekend recorded their first UWS victory with a 3-2 win, and defeating Lady Steel, who had previously beat them just 2 weeks prior. And I apologize. I know I told you I was not going to mess it up, and I told you the stage fright gets me every single time. How are you guys doing this evening, Diego, Matt, and Ena? How are you guys?
We're great.
No, doing well. Thank you for having us, Jonathan.
Yeah,
Matt,
thanks for having us.
Matt is on dab duty. So you might hear a few screams there and there, but that's okay. He's got it going on. He's able to multitask. We like it. So listen, hey, I want to ask the three of you, how did you guys get involved with the game that we all love?
Anna, you want to start off?
I've been playing since I was 4, so I've been hopped around all over on different teams, and I don't know, it was just always my favorite sport growing up, and I got involved with Kics after the Chicago Red Stars had taken me in, so it's been a great experience, and like just the community that I've had here has been awesome. So definitely making a team here with the women's program was definitely something I wanted to do.
So Anna, before I move on to Diego and Matt, give me a little bit of your backstory. So you played with the Red Stars for a bit and you joined on with Kics. How long have you been with Kics, and what has that transition been like?
I've been with Kics maybe like 5-6 months now, I would say. I actually, while I was training with the Red Stars, I started working here because they're involved with a lot of the Chicago Red Stars. A lot of them help out and train here. So it's been great. I love it. Even though I'm probably one of the youngest, I feel just as important in this community as everyone else. And I loved it. They're very welcoming.
Diego?
Yeah, so I didn't have the pleasure of playing at such an early age like Ena. I started playing more around 10 or 11. Before that, I was a baseball player, or so I thought. That's when I kind of changed over. I grew up in the Rockford area, actually, so I just recently moved into the city. For me, I played in college as well, sidelined with a couple of injuries, so that's kind of where I started focusing more on coaching. And I was fortunate and blessed. I started working my way up, working with the ODP programs, some high-level clubs as well. And when the opportunity came knocking on the door that Kics FC, wanted to bring me in, I took it in a heartbeat, and I've loved it ever since. And I'm just grateful that I'm able to work with the pro AM women's team here, and it's been a great experience. I really love it, and I enjoy it.
So Matt, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got involved, but I also want to know the concept of bringing this together. Can you give us some insight into that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I grew up. I grew up in England. Played ball when I was a young kid. Went through obviously the pathways that most of us go through, and played for a professional youth program. And end up playing collegiately. Made my way out here to Chicago, and back in 2010 we started our youth club. And it's grown now to, about 950 players that played with us this past spring. So that's fantastic, coming out of obviously a pandemic here. The representation of the women's game, is something that we've been wanting to, expose the community the past few years. And there's been a real lack of equitable representation of women's soccer, really in the Black and brown communities here in the South Side of Chicago. So we wanted to bring that diversity, inclusion, solidarity of all our communities, and really make a true representation as the South Side Club of Chicago. So there's nothing better than to do that through the women's game, and with coaches that we have like Diego. And when we work with players like Ena and the rest of the team, it's just a great package to bring together.
So Ena and Diego, I have to ask, Matt has obviously the overall vision of the club, but what do you guys see as the vision on your end? And as a player, and Diego as a coach, what is the vision of the mission, or what is the mission that Kics has in its community?
Ena, you want to add as a player?
As a player, it's always going to be developing as an individual and developing as a team. It's crazy because we just met each other, some of these players, and we're coming from all different backgrounds. And it's been awesome, connecting with each other on and off the field. It's definitely to keep progressing and hopefully make a name for Chicago and Kics.
Diego?
Yeah, so the biggest thing for us is to provide, a big opportunity for our community and the surrounding area. We, like how Matt said, we want to have that access to a lot of players on the South Side as well. We try to, involve all players, any players, anyone is welcomed, obviously. And, for us, it's to be role models as well at the same time. We do bring in a lot of high level players that are either playing Division I, Division II, or some ex-pros as well. And we just want to provide them with a high-level platform to keep training. For example, in Ena's case, she's still looking to go above and beyond this. And, it's something that we know she's capable of doing and that she's going to accomplish. And we want to provide something for her to get to that structure, to be able to get there. And not just her, but for any player that walks in through our doors, we want to be able to give those resources and those connections as well.
Matt, what drew the organization to UWS? Obviously, this is your guys' first year of semi-pro soccer, but what was the idea behind joining the UWS?
Well, we always, part of our mission is we always want to create an unparalleled experience. And we really want to kind of fuel a lifelong love for the game. We want to empower our players to be able to achieve their highest potential. And we want to build a club-wide culture at the youth level that instills the values of hard work and passion, integrity, and we want to nurture all of that emotional, social, all of the physical development through soccer. And with the UWS, it's a professional organization. It's inclusive. It provides great opportunity for growth. It's very grassroots based. The opportunity of entry is there, and it provides like an elite player pathway model for a lot of these young aspiring women. And it was just naturally a great fit for us to be involved in.
And I have to ask, what is as a co-captain of the club, you have your coach sitting next to you, you have Matt above you. What is the goal for the inaugural year of the club in the eyes of the co-captain?
Well, like they said, we're a new team, so just putting our name out there and developing and just doing well and trying to get our team up there, get more noticed and all that.
Matt, I have to ask before I ask Diego, what is your goal as the guy kind of in charge? What is the goal for the inaugural year? Just so Diego knows what he's getting into.
Well, first, this is a great opportunity for not just our women on the team, but opportunity for our young players to go to watch, elite level soccer. So my expectation this first year is to have it run smooth. Try to have a sustainable, model here that we can continue this each year. Provide the best possible facilities for practices and games. Drive some of our spectators and our young membership to the games. But ultimately, the girls out there, working hard, having fun, and competing this season. So that's really the expectation on our end.
All right, Diego, does that help out at all? Does it give you a good idea of what's going on?
No, most definitely. Going off of that, everything Matt, I agree with. Just going off of it a little bit is, for me, the ultimate goal is obviously just to provide a great experience for these young women that are coming in. There's a lot of relationships that have been built, a lot of bonds, throughout the team that have been built just from these short few weeks that we've been together. And for me, that's something that's more irreplaceable. Just the memories that they're going to have throughout the season, the ups and downs, is just going to be something great to experience, to be honest. It's something that some of us as a coach were able to experience as well before. And it's something that we hope they're able to experience. And at the same time, we step on the field and every second you have all these players are very competitive on the pitch. And at the end of the day, that's also what we're trying to provide for them, is a competitive environment. And for example, if she hits the crossbar or misses the goal even by a little bit, she's hard on herself, but that's the kind of attitude that I like to.
We saw a few of those moments this weekend, and I saw it on a corner kick that had occurred where she got a little frustrated. But that's the beauty of the game, right? You learn, you see the game a little bit different, you adjust. So one of the great things about this show is we are very much about community. So there's a question from Catherine Paquette who asks, are your efforts for reaching players on the south side of Chicago hindered by the inequality in green spaces that exist between the traditionally deprived area and more affluent neighborhoods of Chicago? And if so, how do you overcome this? So Diego, Matt, you may be able to give us a little more insight on that.
Yep, Matt.
We live in urban Chicago. We don't have necessarily the resources of some of the north side programs and programs in the suburbs and surrounding areas outside of the city. But the one thing that we do have is an enormous amount of raw talent across the city, and we want to break barriers so that talent is identified. And we have built a community of resourceful use of fields and adequate space in order to do that. And through hard work and perseverance, we've able to get to the point where we're at now and provide this provide this opportunity. But yeah, we balance that lack of, some of those lack of resources with, that talent identification across the South Side, which is going to put us in good stead moving forward.
Awesome. Well, it's hard because of space, right? And Chicago is not one to have a lot of space, and when you do have space, there's not enough for everybody, it seems like. But it sounds like you guys are doing what you can with what you're given, and that's awesome. I have to ask though, what makes soccer in Chicago different? Obviously, before the show, we were talking about how there's a rival club that is not too far from, so what makes soccer different in Chicago, and how is it different than the rest of the country?
Go ahead, Ena.
You got it.
No, go ahead, please.
Chicago just has so much talent. Like, you could go anywhere and you'll find someone. Like, it's crazy, especially ever since I've been working with Kics and just this program. I've seen so much talent that's been emerged from them opening up this club and giving kids this opportunity. So it's just amazing that Chicago's a big city and it's a big community. So it's definitely helped out kids that don't really get the chance.
Yeah, I mean, going off of that, how she said Chicago, it's like the soccer hub, to be honest. I mean, when someone, if you're playing, from my experience, coming from Rockford, we were told, oh, we're playing a club team from Chicago. We were like, oh, man, we always kind of just like, our mindset was like, oh man, now here goes a tough one, as opposed to, somewhere else. But as she's saying, we walk outside, we see people just playing everywhere, wherever there's the grass, wherever there's gravel, wherever there's any open space, maybe not even open space, you'll see someone kicking the ball. Last time I saw a few kids playing on the street in the middle of the South, like on the South Loop neighborhoods. I mean, it's just in the blood in Chicago.
It seems as though this club has started off on a good, solid foundation. It's been going on for a long period of time. Matt, you keep adding pieces into certain areas. With who is known as the president of soccer in Chicago, and Nicole, how do you expect to raise the bar for this club going forward? It's already really high. How do you keep to continue to raise it?
Working hard, persevering, never giving up, transparency, and remaining to our core values and beliefs. That will bring the membership, that will bring the talent, and that will bring the wins down the line. Yeah. 2 games against the same team, so it's like Groundhog Day almost with the different story, right? But it seems as though you've already created a little bit of rivalry. I saw the game on Sunday. It seemed a little chippy towards the end, and it looked like it was starting to build a rivalry. But can we anticipate that there is a possible unseating of a rival with a local team coming up here in the next few weeks with Kics and another club?
Which club would that be?
Oh, I'm speaking of the other Chicago club, the Chicago Mustangs, to see if we could get some banter going back and forth.
Okay. Oh, well, I mean, Chicago Mustangs, they're a great organization as well. But I believe they're more located in the city. In the suburbs. I apologize. So it's a little bit different. Steel City is a little bit more close to us. So that's kind of why we consider them more of the rivalry, because it's a lot more in our backyard.
And what is it like to play against them? And obviously playing them in 2 straight matches, it had to have given you a little bit of an extra look and possibly a more comfortable feel. But what was it like as a player on the pitch for 2 consecutive games against the same club?
It was interesting because you come into the first game and you don't know what to expect. Like, these are brand new players, and then come the second game, you kind of pick up on the little things that they do or like what the coach says. So it was definitely interesting. The second game was a lot more riled up, and the fact that it was a home game made it so much better. Just like Matt said, the Kics community really came in and helped us win that game. Like, all the kids that I coach saying that they want to come more to the games and stuff. That's very motivating to us.
Matt, how, coming from England, think about the rivalries, the derbies that are happening often. How did those 2 matches feel for you on the sideline as compared to what you may see in England?
Yeah, the ambience across the bleachers was it was there. It was good. I actually didn't manage to go to the away game, but I was there for the home game. But yeah, I grew up going to many derby games. My club was Ipswich Town. Our derby game was against Norwich City, who I believe just got promoted to the Premier League, unfortunately again. No, it's great to build these rivalries. It builds it builds good stadium atmospheres, and it gets it adds to the velocity and temperature and the heat of the games. It gets the players playing harder, and it makes it more of a spectacle for all of us. So yeah, we're looking forward to coming up against. You mentioned the Chicago Mustangs. I do know Armando there, pretty well, and he's got a good organization. But we will be looking to get the 3 points whenever we see them.
So the three of you plus Josh are really instrumental. It seems as though you guys have a strategy for how the game is going to grow as it relates to Chicago Kics. What is the strategy for the club as it concerns youth development and potential first team opportunities going forward?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm very heavily involved as well with the youth programs, coaching on the high school girls side. So I mean, for us, empowering our young players is, we're going to try and we have our youth development programs just like in other systems around the world. We want to be able to promote within, give those players the opportunities, and help them grow as well from there.
Ena, Matt?
Well, I've been working with like all age groups, starting from toddlers all the way up to high school, and just being that role model for them, from the young kids to all the older kids who are bigger than me. They really do look up to it. They always ask me about college. They ask me about playing professionally, and that's like some input I love giving to them. I love helping out, and sometimes I'll even jump in practices with them because they love it so much.
And Matt, is there a certain structure that you're looking for to bring players up into the ranks of the team and the club?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We approach this very grassroots based. We're looking to build that, football culture and DNA, providing that, opportunity. We want to empower our youth to see these role models and see themselves in the number 10 shirts of like Ena and that on the team in future years. And we want to give that opportunity to our high school players to train and play with players, like Ena and her teammates. And ultimately it's a great, it's a great pathway for these girls to kind of like see themselves, to picture themselves, in years to come in that, and more importantly, see players that look like them, in that playing in that shirt. So that representation, we talk about the South Side, seeing players like that look like themselves, do you know what I mean, playing in that shirt, and knowing that there's an opportunity to reach those heights of playing, professional amateur women's soccer.
So speaking of women's soccer, the UWS, we are dedicated to advancing the game of women's soccer. How does the club help in that idea of advancing women's soccer? And at the same time, how do its players help do the same that participate?
I'm sorry, me. You broke up. I apologize.
Oh, no worries. So how, the UWS is dedicated to advancing women's soccer. How does the club help in advancing the game of women's soccer and at the same time help advance its players that participate?
So it starts off with, oh, sorry.
Go on, Ena.
It starts off with not having as many women's programs open up for us here. So the fact that Matt was able to start up a new team and give girls the opportunity to play is just a great start, because we have people, freshmen in college, whereas I'm a 23-year-old. So it's a great opportunity. It's a great growth and a great development stage for everyone.
Correct. I mean, oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. I mean, going off of that, how she said the age difference is a little bit different. So, Ena's path is looking more of at a professional, higher level path, and some of our other younger players are looking as how they're going to prepare for the upcoming college season. And for them, this is some great experience to learn from players like Ena, who played at Purdue, a high level university. And we do have some. For us, it doesn't really matter, what division soccer you play, as long as you're playing, and that's what we want to do, because a lot of the times some in women's soccer, either they're not informed as well of the opportunities that they have, and here we want to be able to provide those next platforms for them right after high school as well.
Matt, anything to add to that?
No, I think they got it nail on the head there. The club is a platform for opportunity for these young women in whatever avenues that they want to pursue.
So, Diego, Matt, I have to ask, is there a certain type or quality of player that you are looking for when you bring this team together, when you built it, or were you just looking and saying, I think this player will be a good fit, but this player has heart? How did you put this squad together for your first year?
Oh, correct. So, I mean, going off of that, we obviously, the biggest thing for us is looking for players that just want to be here, that want to be able to get better, that are hardworking, that are just capable of learning, that want to be here and actually learn more. Sometimes you'll get players that either think they're, that they're really good, but then they're not humble enough about it, or they think they're just too at a different level, maybe they're not. But everyone we've brought in so far has been a great fit for us. A lot of great personalities. Everyone's very humbling here. And those are just kind of the players that we look for. We want everyone to be engaged as well. And just like how I said earlier, we want everyone to be able to provide a certain piece to this whole of a great experience for the whole program.
Matt, anything to add?
Sorry, I'm getting some lag on my end.
No worries. No worries. I was going to ask, is there anything to add to what Diego said as it relates to the players that you guys are looking to bring in?
No, I think that's great credit to Diego and Coach Diana, who's been involved as well. And we're just looking for people that want to, be part of our community, working hard, and and enjoy obviously a good season leading up to either their college season or obviously it's their next advancement in the game.
So this year has been difficult for all organizations and sports in particular throughout the world. What have you taken away from this experience, both positive and maybe negative, as it relates to you as a player or a individual in our communities?
As a player, I would say you got to take advantage of every opportunity you have. Being out for like a year, not having a competitive soccer to play in, it was rough. It took a lot of mental strength. It took a lot of mentality. It took a lot of growth for everyone. But once we were able to all come together, that was like a memory that I'm not going to forget. Like just being able to help kids grow and develop, and helping even my own teammates is just a great opportunity that I'm glad I had.
Correct. I mean, on the coach's standpoint, you learn a lot from this whole COVID situation, as far as different training sessions, different things that we have to adapt to. Wearing masks while we play, it seems like that even that alone kind of helps a little bit with training. I mean, it's harder for them to breathe almost like at a higher altitude kind of thing. So it kind of helps with the conditioning as well. It's a little bit harder. Don't get me wrong. Some girls would be like, coach, I don't want to wear my mask. I'm like, I know, but unfortunately you have to. We all have to, just to be able to, protect ourselves, and hopefully one day we can get past this all.
Matt, how's it been on your end during COVID? Obviously, running an organization like Kics, how has this experience helped you grow Kics?
I think the biggest thing it's allowed us to do is reflect and press the reset button, and allow us to go back to our true north, I guess, and I talked about earlier about our core values and beliefs, what we want to be as an organization, how we want to grow. And I think given the time going through the past, I'd say 16, 18 months, it's allowed us, as I said, a time of reflection. And we've made some very, some big changes in certain areas, which we're extremely happy about. And, just basically pushing the envelope, I guess. And it's allowed us to strategize, give us time to strategize. Whereas if we had been playing this entire time, it's not always something that you can always put at the forefront.
So we just picked up our first win on Sunday. You guys are all excited. I bet everybody, I saw the excitement on the players' faces as they were coming off the pitch. What should fans continue to be excited about or look forward to this coming year after witnessing win number one?
No, correct. Going off of a little bit, I mean, just we're expecting them to keep enjoying the soccer that we're looking to play. A lot of our players that are still currently in school are coming back as well. So a lot more depth to our roster included on that end. And just that atmosphere that's created, especially on the home game side. We're hoping that, some of our fans follow us to when we go away and try and recreate that same atmosphere just so they have a great experience, just like we will.
Ena, Matt, anything to add?
I would say I want the fans to know how much of an impact they made for this last game, especially that close game. Having those fans physically there cheering us on meant everything to us. Looking back after rewatching the film over and over, I could hear the fans screaming after the goals. It was awesome. Even all the virtual appreciation we've got online it's just awesome. Even kids finding me, messaging me, and congratulating me, seeing how much it means to them. It's just awesome, and it pushes me to work harder and hopefully more wins and more goals.
Yeah, no, I mean, I got that same thing from a lot of the college boys, that were part of the program that moved on to the higher level on the D1, D2, D3 side. They came to watch out the game, and they came up to me and one of the other coaches as well. They were like, "Coach, man, when's the next game? When's the next game?" We didn't know women's soccer was this intense. I don't know. Let us know when the next game. We're there. It's man, just the thought of that we're impacting. Not only the female side of it, but the male side as well. I mean, it's a great feeling.
Matt, what about you? What should fans be expecting and ready for as we get closer to home match number 2?
Well, first and foremost, I encourage everyone to come out from the community. I encourage all of our youth players. We're going to be making sure that they're aware of it. We're going to try to get them through the gates. Just to expect some exciting close games. We've got some amazing talent on the field. And the great thing about it is a lot of these players are also role models to these, to a lot of these young girls as coaches for them as well. So. It's exciting. It's exciting to have them involved and coming to all these home games.
So before we get into some of the fun stuff, question wise, what does community mean to each of you? And then we'll start with you. What does community mean to you?
Honestly, it means so much. Just growing up and being around soccer communities all the time. Just the relationships, the bonds that you make with fans, coaches, teammates, all of that. It means the world to me. Ever since I started working at Kics, I've seen the enormous community that we have here. Like Matt says, just sticking to our core values and all that has brought us so much, so many fans, so much support and all of that. And it's just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, going off of that, I mean, for me, community just means impact, the impact that we have on the community. I mean, just an example, growing up in the Rockford area, sometimes we didn't have the biggest opportunities. For me, growing up, I would see all my teammates when we were playing club committing to colleges, going to specific universities. Me, I didn't even think about it, but that's what kind of drove me. I saw everyone else with these opportunities. Man, I want to be in those same shoes. And now I think about it, it's I'm in a position where I'm able to, help impact the younger generation as well. And that's something that speaks a lot, especially, living through it, and it's something that I want to be able to pass on as well to anyone who wants to receive.
Matt?
Sorry, I missed the question again.
What does community mean to you?
My signal here is I don't know if it's my Wi-Fi or not. I'm sorry. What does community mean to me? To me, soccer is opportunity, and we promote soccer as an opportunity to build community and empower our youth, and by empowering our young players and youth in that process, we build community. So it's kind of like a circle of it. So it's all about community. At the end of the day, it's about the people that live around you, the people that you impact the lives of, and it's obviously a lot of the young men and children and teammates, coaches, people around us that provides that that love for the game. And it's community is a big thing with us at Kics.
All right. Well, you guys have made it through the hard questions. We're going to get into the fun questions. So our producer, Joe, sits behind, and during the course of the interview, he actually puts together some hot seat questions you guys are not privy to, and I don't see until this point in the show. So he has put together some very tasty questions.
We're ready.
Oh,
the first one is your favorite professional team, but I'm going to throw a spin on it. Because of your professional team, what rival's badge would you be more welcoming to kiss?
To kiss.
So we all have our professional team. If you had to kiss the crest of a rival club, whose crest would you kiss? And Ena, we'll start with you.
Oh man. Well, hands down, my favorite team is Barcelona. Literally ever since I watched Messi step foot on the field, that was my favorite team. I guess I'd have to say I'd be okay with Real Madrid because I respect the team. Not the biggest Ronaldo fan, but as long as it's not his crest, I'm good with that.
Fair enough. Diego?
Same thing. I'm the biggest Barcelona fan. That's what I grew up watching. Mainly not Messi, actually. My favorite player was Ronaldinho. And the only reason I would kiss the crest of Real Madrid was there was a situation in the game where Real Madrid fans, the whole Santiago Bernabeu, gave Ronaldinho a standing ovation for one of his performances. And for me, that was one of the classiest things a team can do. So for me, I'll always respect them for that.
All right, Matt, you're on the hot seat here, buddy.
Yeah, I think contrasting to Ena, I'm a massive Ronaldo fan. So I would have to say that my loyalty would be with the Real Madrid, and I guess Barcelona are not a bad second best to kiss the crest of.
All right, fair enough. So we have conflicting reports here on this. So Barcelona, Real Madrid. All right.
So Jonathan, what would be yours?
So I'm a Glasgow Celtic fan, and because I cannot stand Rangers, I would be more welcoming to kiss the heart of Aberdeen or Hearts before I even touch a Rangers kit. So because I'm a Celtic fan, I'd have to go with one of those, Aberdeen or Hearts, before I even touch.
That was one of our club coaches he was a diehard Rangers fan, and one time one of my teammates wore a Celtics jersey just for fun of it. He didn't play him the whole showcase.
Oh no.
That's how bad it is. I understand.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad. All right, next question. Most embarrassing soccer memory. And Matt, we'll start with you since you got to answer last year. Most embarrassing soccer memory.
That's a tough one.
Most embarrassing. I don't know. I may have to go second or third here to think of one. It's been a while. I'm a little older than these guys, and I hung up the boots a few years ago. I played co-ed probably about 3 or 4 years back, and it was probably actually around about the same time that I decided to stop playing because I got schooled by some players that I definitely thought I had the better of, and I think there were some high school boys and girls that were like schooling me at that time on the 7v7 field. So that's all I can think of right now. I'm sure you got a better one, Diego. Ena, go on.
I mean, mine would have to be most recently as yesterday, actually. I tried training with the UWS girls. Unfortunately, Ena scored the game-winning goal on us, so I would say that. I mean, I just couldn't keep up with the pace that the girls have and the intensity that it's at. So that'd probably be it's a proud moment as a coach, but as a player, it's a little tough on me.
And especially as a goalkeeper coach too, right? You should be good with the gloves, and they got the best of you this time, huh?
I know, and I got me. That's why she's one of the goal of the week nominations. So I'll do it.
And what about you? Most embarrassing soccer moment?
Oh, I could actually count a lot, but probably my freshman year of college, one of my first times stepping on the field, I take the ball down the line, just sprinting on my own, like no one on me. And I'm getting so excited. I'm running, and I try to cut it back and rolled my own ankle. No one on me. Had to get the trainer come get me.
Ghost hole. So, hey, what's on your playlist right now? What gets you pumped up for matches? And we'll start with you. Playlist right now. What's your go-to jam?
Everything hip hop that gets me going. Actually, when we were in club, our go-to song was "Remember the Name" by Fort Minor. That was like always our thing. So ever since then, it's always been on my playlist.
No, I mean, for me, it's crazy enough. I mean, music, just like, anything that's pumped up, but at the same time, a lot of Mexican music gets me pumped up, like more like Mexican country. I don't know why. One of my old teammates when we were growing up, that's what he would just play, like hardcore right before a match. And I tried it one time, and we won a final, and I was like, you know what, this just must be lucky for me. Yeah. So I mean, I never changed it. So and it seems to be working so far. So I'm okay with sticking with that.
Fair enough. Matt, what's on the playlist?
I will.
You can't go wrong with a bit of Ed Sheeran.
Oh man! All right, Ed Sheeran on the playlist for Matt. We know who's not to put on.
I grew up in Ipswich. I told you, England. He's an Ipswich-born boy, so can't go wrong with a bit of Ed Sheeran.
I'll make sure to put that on the playlist for you.
There you go, locker room playlist. All right, this has to be one of those questions that just has you scratching your head for a hot minute. But if animals could talk, which would be the rudest?
The rudest.
Which animal would be the rudest in conversation?
My dog. My dog, because he just never shuts up. So he'd always try and cut me off whenever I try to speak, or it kind of reminds me of the dog from the movie Up. The one that's just talking in the middle of nowhere and then just randomly squirrel, like it's something like that. And I was just like, dude, what are you doing?
Ena, what about you?
Oh, that's a tough one. I feel like birds. I feel like they're always chipping away, saying something they shouldn't be saying. I don't know.
Matt, what about you? Rudest, if animals could talk, which would be the rudest?
I don't know. I mean, I watched Aladdin the other day, the original Aladdin with my young boy, and I remember that parrot was pretty chirpy, wasn't he? He was a bit of rude, that guy, whatever that guy's name was. That's all I can think of right now. Sorry.
That's all good. All right, and then my last question, get you guys off the hot seat and get you guys out and have a good evening. What is your favorite or go-to soccer boot?
Ooh.
I grew up wearing the Adidas Predators, and then I went to the Nike. Oh, you got them there?
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
There.
Yep, the Adidas Predators. That's my go-to boot. The original ones.
Yep.
Growing up, my dad always bought me Adidas Copas all the time. I love the shoes, but I'm like, is there any other color? Like, give me a little something. And now, I'm not gonna lie, when I went to college, I wanted a school that was Nike because I love my Nike shoes. They just fit like a glove on me.
Yeah, I mean, same with me. I love Nike, but I mean, for me, I got to go with actually a Mexican brand that's called Pirma, just because they were my very first shoes. And I remember when I had them, they were just pure leather, man. Those things, I still have them, and they have not ripped anything. I mean, they don't fit me, but but they still look like they just, like we haven't used them at all, but I tore them up. So no, I love them.
That's all that matters. Well, hey, you three, I really appreciate you guys taking the time to answer some questions regarding your club, having some fun with the hot seat. I wish you guys the best of luck going forward and hope that you guys have a really bright future. Is there anything I missed or anything you guys want to add?
Yeah, I mean, definitely got to get you one of our Kics FC scarves down there. So that's one thing.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We just want to say thank you so much for having us. It's an honor. I loved it. And I got to give a shout out to all our fans out there, new fans and old ones.
No, likewise. And hopefully some of the girls on our Kics UWS team are watching us and not making fun of me as I, as me right now. So.
Yeah, thank you, John. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate your time here. And as Ena said, thanks to the fan. We look forward to seeing all our fans and hope you enjoyed this tune in.
Awesome. And make sure you guys check them out on social media. Kics Chicago at Kics without the K, UWS on Twitter, and then the same handle on Instagram. So make sure you guys check them out and give them a follow for some of their awesome content. Thank you guys for joining us. Have a great rest of the evening, you three.
You too, Jonathan.
You too.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us this evening for UWS Weekly. You can follow all things UWS and UWS2 on their social media pages and send your questions for future shows as well. Join us Saturday for the UWS Kickoff Show powered by Rain Total Body Fuel at 6 a.m. Pacific as we get you ready for this weekend's UWS matches. And we highlight the Lone Star match against the San Antonio Athenians this weekend. So until then, cheers everyone and have a great rest of the evening.